I've started the recording. This is our afternoon session on the 30th. And what we're going to work on now is the architectural floor plan. And it's sort of a combination of floor plan and space plan. It doesn't have everything that goes in a floor plan, and it doesn't have everything that goes in a space plan. But at an introductory level, we think it's a super useful drawing. So here we go. I've got my drawing space up. I'll set my units because I'm going to be an architect. So now the foot and inches symbols are recognized. So I've got that. Let me check my line weights. I'm in inches. That's good. And I have a fairly reasonable little scale here for that. I think that's pretty good. I've typed in Design Center. And I've got a few things. I've made you a drawing with furniture blocks in it that you can use. There's a door. There's a window that's 10 inches wide. So that's not very useful until you scale it or something like that. So we'll play around with this and see. So here comes, oh, I need to do that in my new drawing. There's my units. I got to be in the right drawing. And I'll save this. And this is going to be my plate 5. And I'll call it B because I've been trying to decide. I teach this a slightly different way all the time, but here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to make some layers because they don't already exist, the ones I want. A-wall is going to be a wall layer, and that's going to be heavy, 0.028. Then I'm going to want doors. Those are usually red, and they're not as heavy, so they'll be 0.014. And then there's usually windows. And the A- means that it's the architect that's doing it. And windows are often blue. So there's walls, doors, windows that I needed to make. And now, of course, I need my regular ones. I need things like my construction and depth points and dimensions and text and thick and thin. So I need all those. So now I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I can draw with. So that's kind of nice. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a wall. No, excuse me. I'm going to set this up. I know this thing is about 36 feet wide. So I want to just sort of get my drawing set so that my workspace is showing the right thing. And I just remembered that from what I had before. So now I can put my plate 5 in there. And I'll be able to see it. Okay. And this is where I got the 36 foot from. I kind of clipped it off. There should be something on here that says, oh, there it is. The overall is 36. So I've got it all set. So now I have a wall on the back that's 36. Then I'm just going to rattle it off because I know it. Up 12, over 8, up 12, over 22, 6, 6, and back. And I have to put the foot symbol in there. 8 foot. 12 foot. 22 foot. 6 foot. And now, hopefully, when I come back, yeah, it says 6 foot. That was my little double check. Now, I'm going to go around this the long way. That could have been one nice polyline, and my offset would be quicker. But I'm going to offset for this for a wall, and I think my external walls are a 2x6, so I'm going to offset 5.5. That's most common, is that you offset by the framing distance, and a 2x6 is 5.5. And look, if you don't do that, I'm certainly not going to have a cow. But we are trying to do some industry standard work here. But we don't have a ton of details on that. There is some in the workbook. And then I happen to use the fillet command. I think it's just a little bit easier than doing all of the trims. It's easier for me to catch these. So that's a personal preference. It doesn't matter how you do it, but somehow you want an external wall. And I could have done the M for multi, but I happen to usually just go click, click one at a time. Okay, so I've got all that. Now I want my interior walls. And I'm just going to draw it straight across. And an interior wall is 3.5 inches. But I see that, hi Joya, welcome in. I see that it just sort of extends down and extends over. So let me get that part. This part is sort of like, that's another wall. And this one, the offset is 3.5. That's a 2x4. What do you know? And that kind of looks like that now. And then I can trim that, or I can just move it back. There. And I can do the same thing here. Now I needed to get these bottom ones. It looks like it's hard. Oh boy, that's not very good. 7'9", 8, 12. 8'3". That sounds about right. And that's to this inside line. So I can just do an offset 8 foot 3 inches. Oh, come on, get out of there. That's looking about right. And then the next one is 12 and then 8. And I have to put the foot symbol in. And then this one is also 7'9". I did something wrong there, didn't I? I did 12 feet. Offset 7 foot 9 inches. There we go. And now I'll do trim this time. There we go. I'm getting close. So lots of just little detailed work here. So now, this one offsets to the right, to the right, to the right, and this one offsets down. Offset 3.5 inches because it's an interior partition wall that's made out of 2x4s. And now I just have a bunch of trimming again. And that's basically how in AutoCAD you make a floor plan. Now, if we were doing this in Revit, it would be even easier. And we'll do that. For those of you who are interested, next week you'll have an opportunity to do that. That's one of the things, is to do this building in Revit. So now I'm just missing a whole bunch of details, and I'm going to do some of them. Looks like did I do something wrong here? Oh, I see. I did 12 foot twice. This offset was wrong. There we go. That's a little bit better. I just did a bad offset. That's why you always look at your work and try to get it right. People that do that, they're called checkers. Our checker, where I worked at Wemco, was our most experienced drafter. And he saved us so much money. There we go. And then I think this goes away, right? I'm just going to get rid of that one. Now I'm going to be tricky. I'm going to fill it, this one and this one. Get rid of that one. And I try to make my lines full length. Like I could have just drawn a little line there. There, now it looks like I got kind of the right thing. So I'd better save this. So now I need to put in some doors. So from the design center, I can look at my one, and I have it called furniture blocks, but I've got a door that I can just bring in. And it's a 30-inch wide door. And so it may not be appropriate for all of these, but it should be okay. Yep, 30-inch. So now I can just start putting those in place. So I'm going to put that right there. And then it's like, well, where is it? Oh, the center of it is 3'6". And then I think it has to mirror. Now, you could take care of all of this with the insert block command. You could take care of that with the insert block command and do all that mirroring. Okay. And so then you get one there. One goes here. One goes here. And then those move. Doesn't really say. But that's going to be um, two 2x4s framed away, 3 inches. Now, if you can figure out what I just said there and how all that works, you already know about lumber and how it works. Just move it 3 inches. Believe me on that. There. Yes, you can rotate. Sometimes you can rotate. Like that one. Yeah, I think rotate will work on all of these. Okay, so let's go ahead and what some people do is they go like rotate, copy 90. Now I got all of them that I can just use, right? Uh, no, I'm still missing. Yeah, that one will work. So I'll copy that one there, and then I'll move it. And oh, I'm missing one more wall here, aren't I? 12'6". Oh, darn it. Offset 3.5 inches. There we go. And then I can trim. There we go. Now I can put those in. And this one copies from here. So it's just putting stuff in and then moving it around. And then the last one is that one. So that's, yeah. Oh, you could easily do those. It's just that then you don't get a chance to do as much work. No, no. You can use the doors from the tool palette. You can use your own door block. You can use all sorts of things. So, this is just a way to get you to practice copying, moving, looking at things, and getting them set. So that's kind of cool. Um, So now you want to draw these windows. So here's the easiest way to draw a window. This is really weird. It says 45, I think it's 20, and 60, 60, and 40, 40. The first two numbers are the width. So this is a 46-inch wide, and I think it's a 45-inch wide. This is a 60-inch wide, a 40-inch wide, a 20-inch wide, so on and so forth. So you want to put some of those in there. Now, the other thing you want to do is go ahead and put your door opening in here. So on your A wall, get your door openings in, and I won't do every single one. But that's how you want it to look. So it'll take you a few minutes to do that. This one needs to move. I forgot to move that one. Right? That's sort of how those are going to go in and look. And so now a window, you can either make your own little window, or did I put a window in here? Oops. I did. So there's a few things you can do. If you want to do a window and then scale it, I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do this. That's sort of up to you. I'm going to put a window in here. That window is only 10.5 inches wide. So I'm going to show you a cool thing now. Explode. I'm going to make some copies. There's a cool thing called the stretch command. STRETCH. Looks like that. If I get most of the object, but leave a little piece behind, then I can stretch that another 35 inch. Is that the coolest thing? Stretch. This one would go another 50 inches. So this one is my 45, my 60, and I can just put those in now. And I can take, watch this. I want to get midway between those 2 points. Midway between that point and that point is going to go right there. And then I can move it however far I needed to go. 5 feet. Isn't that cool? I still need to do a trim now. Now I've got a window. So that's just some cool stuff. You can stretch them all one at a time, multiple times. There's a 60-60 again. And I don't really care how big you make these. I'm looking for some sort of normal-ish drawing. But that's how you would do those. So now if I want to put my 60 in, that one is 4 foot 6 inches from this wall. Okay. So I can do that. 4 foot 6 inches from that wall. And there's that cool one again, midway between 2 points. And see how I got, isn't that cool? Now I have to move that. (4 foot) 6 inches. We go. Got that one in place. And I can do a trim. So that's just getting you used to taking care of details and doing stuff. Once you have all of those things in place, now I've shown you how to do walls, I've shown you how to do windows, and we're not, I'm leaving these little lines off. That's very commonly done to leave those lines off. And I think it's an easier drawing for you to watch and see. Um, I'm also leaving that part of the line on. They put it in as a threshold or take it out. These are fine like this. Okay. So now I'm going to get rid of this stuff for a moment. I've done my work. Now I want to put a conference table in there. Design center, furniture blocks, conference table. There it is. And it doesn't really say where to put it. So I'll just stick it in there. This one's got some sort of a desk. There it is. And that one's going to take that rotate again. And I think what they're doing is they're sticking that right against this corner. And look, it's just a drawing, right? If you feel like you want to do better because you're an interior designer and you wanted an inch off or something like that, you can do that. That was the move command. You can see how it's meant to be put there, right? This is a little funny looking, but it's good because it shows that you can back it out. So that's how you do those. And let me see how they've got these room IDs. Here's a room name. Oh, what a horrible. That's terrible looking. Let's see what his properties look like. This might not be worth doing, this one. Color by layer. See what happens if I explode it. There we go. And then you can just copy, copy, copy that. Into place. Whatever these numbers are, I don't know what they are. I'll go back and look at them later. There we go. Something like that. So soon you'll have all this sort of done and ready. Now, what I want to talk about here is seeing that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of dimensions. Okay, and so your windows go on your first one, your interior walls and doors go on your second one, the exterior shape goes on the third one, and the overall goes on the fourth one. Okay, so you can make some like little construction lines for yourself if you want. I have construction lines in here. I do. If I want to, I can make and just say, okay, that's going to be and then oh, actually you're right. Those go on the layout. Thank you very much. And so this is going to be on a B-size layout again. And so now I need my viewport. Well, first I'm going to come back here. Once I've got everything in here, right? I can get rid of that. Kind of zoom in. I think this is going to be 1/4 inch equals a foot again, because that's what my last one was and it fit. Layout, rectangular. Double click. 1/4 inch, that's way down here, equals a foot. Ooh, that's going to be nice. So you are right. Thank you very much. So now if I go, and I can do this next one on construction or on depth points, it won't really matter. Then I'll move up like 1/4 inch. And then another 1/4 inch. Another 1/4 inch. And that'll give me sort of some little targets to go by. So let's go to my dimension one. And I'll bring in my drawing again. So I see, I'll come down and do this line for, well, I should have put a window in over here so that I could show this line complete. Let me go put a window in over there. And maybe it should have been something different than that, but that'll be okay. And I'll put this one in over there. So my dimensions, I'm not really going by them right now. love that midway between 2 points thing. There we go. So now I'll be able to kind of come close on this one. So I see that I want to do my Windows line dimension. Whoop, I'm going to need a dim style. And remember, I'm on my piece of paper. So my dim style on my piece of paper is going to be scale factor 1. Annotate, scale factor 1. Make sure it's on the dimension layer. Okay. Windows, linear, outside of wall to my midpoint. And I want to line it up on that first line's endpoint. And then I do my next one. The next one, it's interesting. It's from this outside wall over, is how they've called it out. And that's generally if there's an outside wall to go to, that's what you use. If there's an outside wall. If there's not, you'll see down here that it goes off of, whichever direction you're going, outside wall to this wall, because the framer is going to hook up to some outside of their framing. See, this is all has to do with how the framers use their tape measures. Okay, so I've got my first line in, which was windows. Now I've got interior walls and doors. Exterior walls and doors. And there was that one. I'll go up to my next line. Oh, sorry about that. Let me get this right. Got to do this right. I'm doing my doors and my interior wall. So door, but it's got to line up on the right one. And now I've got my interior wall, which I think comes off of here. Okay, let's see how I did. Yep. And now I have my exterior shape. I'm going to go up one more because I don't have enough room with that one. Oh, and I missed something there. See how it said 1.5 inch? I didn't get the endpoint of the line. Now I will. I got the endpoint of the dimension line. And I've just done it again. Endpoint of the line, endpoint of the line. So be sure you're getting the model and not some other weird thing. And now I just need my overall. There we go. So that's how you're going to go through getting all these. As many as you can. I think this one usually takes people hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how much you want to do and how exacting you want to get it. I'm not so interested that you get these little ID numbers. That's part of like window sizing and things like that. And we don't necessarily need those right now. But that's how, and I don't really care about your porch and deck. Not too interested in it because we're not doing the whole thing. If you come back next week and say, okay, I want to do the architectural work on this, I'll let you do the whole thing, and you can do it in AutoCAD or you can do it in Revit. But it'll be kind of cool. Okay. So, any other questions on that? That gives you the basics of it. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you, this is again, if you were an architect doing this, you'd have all of your stuff set up. This is really, as I've said before, this is about giving you practice with skills and tools. If you worked in an architect's office, all this stuff is already there. There's even a line type that you can put in for 2x6 wall, 2x4 wall that already does all this, right? You don't have to offset, you don't have to trim. There's some express tools that lets you draw double weight lines, and you can make line types for it. So if you were to work in an architect's office, this would have been about a 15-minute job. And if you were to do it in Revit, it would be about a 10-minute job. The trick is, and like when you do these in Revit, these distances already snap into place for you. So you just, the distances are already there. Click, 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 click. And then all you have to do is know your standards. I go off of outside wall to outside wall, outside wall to first inside wall, right? What are you actually measuring as you go? And so it's really pretty cool. This is, we've done this particular drawing for probably 40 years. We've used the same one, right? Because what does it do? It gives you practice with copy, trim, block, rotate, edit, dim styles. Look, that thing, I'm going to bring these ones down a little bit too. Because I have these stacked. I shouldn't have had those ones stacked. I usually don't. There we go. Looks a little bit better. And so this is it's pretty cool. and you can work at it, and you can get this will be a nice industry standard drawing that you could show to somebody. And the more effort you put into it, the better it is. But I don't want you guys killing yourselves on a short week where we're kind of one day short. I don't want you killing yourself on this one. So just do the things that you feel are good to. Am I still on? Yeah. Sorry, I need to do that over here. So you can come back and really get some of these things done if you feel like it. And mostly if you feel like doing an architectural project next week, I'll give you your opportunity to do this either in AutoCAD, which would be to take this, finish this up, really get these fully done, and do the elevations and do a little bit of lighting work. Or you can do it in Revit. So let me just show you Revit just really quickly, because you'll go, oh my gosh. Because we do have a few minutes. I'm going to actually stop the recording.